Hello everyone. Now, first of all, I want to apologize if I sound a bit under the weather today. I had my second Pfizer vaccine yesterday, and today I've been feeling pretty just tired across the board. So, apologies beforehand. I'll be showcasing some convoy gameplay in the background. I'll be properly covering this mode later, but just giving you a teaser here as I go over the latest and the newest. Well, Wargaming, not too happy about the response they got to their fantastic offer of letting us grind an entire campaign only to get the amazing opportunity of buying the Missouri for real life money. They tried to throw more bullshit at the community. Once again, it seems to just be their MO these days. Well, you can see what they posted. Shauna posted that, regrettably, due to technical limitations, we could not make Missouri available in the Armory. However, if you would like to directly purchase her for doubloons after you finish the campaign, please contact customer support. There you will be able to ask for an exchange of 19,500 doubloons for Missouri and slot in port. It does not replace an option to purchase the ship in premium shop after completing the campaign. Well, obviously this is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever seen. The whole point why they revamped the Armory, like the Armory is basically just the web browser that browses their site. The whole Armory was implemented for the sole purpose of being able to add ships into the game, add premiums and add stuff to sell without having to update the client. It is literally the purpose of it, and it is incredibly simple and incredibly easy. So suddenly there's a technical limitation that's preventing them from adding this Missouri to the Armory. I mean, this is complete nonsense, absolute bullshit, and there is no one who believed it. And well, none other, of course, than a little white mouse reacted quite strongly to this. She quoted this entire post, and well, she says that it's basically this entire thing is nonsense, and what she does summarize here is the reason why they're doing this is they want the loot boxes that they still haven't removed, that they're still keeping in there, the ones that you can buy for real life money. They still want those to be the most attractive option for acquiring Missouri. And she speculates that this is because Wargaming they basically have a prediction for how much money they're gonna make of this Missouri event, and they're doing their absolute utmost, their absolute minimum towards the community, but their absolute utmost to make sure that those profits stay intact. And they are convinced that getting these people to gamble on these loot boxes is going to make them so much more money. That's why they're making it as difficult as possible to buy the ship directly. Because even buying the ship directly with all this money isn't going to make them as much money as grinding this entire, as spending money on loot boxes. They know loot boxes is their golden goose. So that's why you have to contact the customer support to get an option to buy it, or you have to complete an entire campaign which is going to be gated across the 7 weeks that unlocks every 2 days. So, sorry, 7 missions that unlocks every 2 days, about 60 battles across 2 weeks. Like, they wanted to make it as hard as possible, whereas they want the loot boxes to be sitting right there in your face, advertised and easily available to anyone willing to swipe their credit card. So Wargaming is doing their utmost to make sure that even the option of buying the ship is difficult, because they have a big goal, and they know that you guys, if you buy these loot boxes, you're gonna spend so much money, and it's gonna take you so many doubloons, so much real life money to actually get to the Missouri, that you're gonna make them a small fortune. And this is their goal, and this is why they keep throwing this bullshit at the community, and this is why they're so stubborn about changing anything about this. So we're getting through some bullshit. No one bought it, and if anything, the community seems to be waking up more and more to the state of how Wargaming is actually behaving. In other news, if you guys have actually tried Googling World of Warships lately, it's somewhat amusing. The three top stories are basically aggressive monetization, shady monetization, and World of Warships contributors are quitting the game over loot boxes. So they're not really doing too hot on this front. Also, I've heard rumors that there might be some other sort of media that's also being interested in this story. So you might be seeing this being posted elsewhere quite soon as well. So they're still in the hot seat. In other news, Euro finally got removed from the CC program. I mean, honestly, it's not like they really had a choice there. I mean, some of the community was suspicious were they actually gonna do something, but at least on this one, Wargaming did honestly the only option they had. For those not aware, Euro basically went full 12-year-old Xbox gamer in a COD lobby. Basically every single slur, racial slur, anti-Semitism, LGBT slurs, like he just went full ham on everything across a couple of years. So they really didn't have a choice here, but hey, at least they pulled the only option that they had, and they didn't plunge themselves into another deeper shit show. I mean, I'm not sure how much deeper they can really get at this point. Jingles also made a vid where he was asking, where he's, encouraging people to report them to the PEGI or ESRB rating system in the hopes that, the current rating, I think World Warships has a rating of 7 years old to be allowed to play the game. But while I support the idea, I support the concept, I personally don't actually think it's going to do too much, because fundamentally these are regulating bodies, and they're not the ones who make the law. And loot boxes, I mean, I think loot boxes, absolutely, they're morally and ethically, and I mean the way they work, they're gambling. But actually, under most countries' laws, loot boxes aren't gambling. I mean, the only one who has updated the laws is Belgium. That's why you actually can't buy loot boxes in Belgium in World Warships. But the problem really is, as long as the laws don't define loot boxes as gambling, I don't see how any regulating body could possibly slap a gambling label or have any sort of effect on this. Because as it is right now, loot boxes and even card packs like FIFA cards only are labeled as in-game purchases, which doesn't require an age rating, because, well, they're not considered lawfully on the same level as gambling, even if I think they are gambling. So that's why I absolutely support Jingles in this, and I mean, go right ahead. Maybe it will have some effect. Maybe enough people sending this in is going to make people go like, hold on, like, we need to do something about this. But I'm somewhat skeptical. I'm sorry, I'm just somewhat skeptical, because the problem is the laws in the world are really lagging behind when it comes to identifying gambling in these video games. And loot boxes, don't get me wrong, absolutely gambling, but the problem is the laws are very much lagging behind when it comes to this entire business. Let's see, what else do we have? A bit of convoy mode going on in the background. We have the updated news. Let's see, I think that was basically covering... I should probably cover that. Well, Wargaming are using their classic way of controlling the discussion. They have been going extremely hard on the censorship and on the banhammer. In fact, on the official forums, they are hammering down hard. In fact, this is a good example. There's comment someone asked, what are the rules for use of the hammer, aka the banhammer? What are you kicking and banning people for from the forums? And the Maridraco answers, allowed to be used on anyone that breaks the EULA. This includes trolling, loaded questions, spam, and inappropriate statements. And of course, basically all of these 4 sections is something the mods themselves can define. Like, they can define anything as trolling or loaded question or spam or whatever, and they can ban you right off there. So don't expect to have any sort of free discussion on the official forums. That is unlikely to happen. This is wargaming that we're dealing with in the end. So, and finally, there's been a bit of a somewhat hilarious, people have been review bombing the game on Steam. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but the game has gotten a lot of negative ratings on Steam. People not very happy with wargaming across the board, and they're getting really tired of this constant bullshit that the company is trying to throw at them. So now they're just being non-stop bombed by these negative reviews, which honestly kind of deserved. Well, not just kind of deserved, very much deserved. In other news, clan battles have started. Well, it's exactly what the competitive players did not want. It is a complete shit show. Clan battles is basically everyone is spamming double CV, either Ruyo or Levenhardt, the two basically strongest tier 6 CVs. Everyone is spamming those, and because there's no one who has enough AA to actually defend themselves against these planes, all the surface ships are smoke ships. So they're spamming Huang He and the occasion maybe one DD, but basically they're spamming nothing but smoke cruisers, and we have smoke trains going back and forth, and people have been sharing this. Honestly, really sad looking pictures. I feel really sorry for the competitive players. It wasn't long ago that Wargaming told us in their Q&A that they listened to the feedback and that the player base was really going to enjoy what they have done to clan battles. Well, I'm not sure too many of the competitive players are exactly agreeing with Wargaming right now. As always though, thank you for watching. Sorry for being a bit out of it today. I need a good night's sleep to recover. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.